very, very rocky marriage, that the Sussex couple are now sleeping in separate beds.
A post-Harry divorce.
These are challenging times for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Harry and Meghan's marriage is in trouble.
There's such a mess going on around them.
The new Harry and Meghan headlines: trouble in paradise, rumors of divorce, and they're taking time apart.
Things haven't been so marvellous over in Montecito.
The tabloids seem to be in attack mode. Why? Well, speculation is there's pressure on the pair after some recent bad press.
They are destroying us.
Now, we all knew this would happen, but we thought it'd be a couple of years down the pipeline. Apparently, Prince Harry is already talking to divorce lawyers.
Meghan Markle and, of course, her husband, the Ginger. What do you make of reports in Vanity Fair that Meghan's PR team have reportedly spruiked a potential book about her life post-divorce from Prince Harry, which is a bit awkward since the couple haven't even split up.
Apparently, Prince Harry was on to divorce lawyers. Lots of reports that they're apparently growing apart. So I think there was one source that said, I think it was actually Lady Colin Campbell, in an interview, it said that he seems to be spending a lot more time at hotels. He's not actually staying at home anymore. And then there was a royal author, Angela Levin, basically said the distance between the two of them is growing longer and wider.
She is utterly repulsed by the PDA from Prince Harry. Look at this now. Look at it in slow motion. And then there is the horror on Meghan's face. Get away from me, man. Oh, but I'm going to have to post this anyway because I've got something to prove.
So many times how Harry is so much better on his own, and the evidence appears to keep adding up. Louise, is there more than just a professional separation?
Well, it does make me wonder because all signs point to some issues behind the scenes. I mean, professionally, they've had to separate. Their brand was toxic.
He's hired a lawyer, and it happens to be somebody who's a great divorce lawyer and specializes in divorce. And it dovetails on other reports that he is spending a lot of his time in 2 hotels, one of which is in Montecito, another of which is not too far away, as an escape from her. It's entirely plausible. All they've done for 5 years is complain and moan and see themselves as downtrodden victims. That doesn't tend to spur a lot of feelings of love and happiness and close bonding. I mean, I guess in the crisis mode it might, but I mean, they were in the first year of their marriage when she was allegedly suicidal because of her bad press, Paul, because of her mean articles about her. So this is not somebody who seems particularly well, and he's got his own mental health challenges that he's documented in many different places. He doesn't seem to be getting that much better. So I'm not surprised.
I wish I could say that surprises me, but it seems like the privacy brigade, when they're not begging us to leave them alone, will also do anything for attention. So I wouldn't be shocked at all if she'd shopped a divorce book or a divorce reality show.
Prince Harry, this is probably one of the worst few months of his life.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
We all know the divorce is imminent. Things are not well in Montecito. Yeah. I'm just calling it now. It's on my card for 2025.
Oh, you say this is the year they divorced?
It's in my celebrity death pool, this marriage, for sure.
Welcome back to Tea Time with Tina. So let's be honest, nothing says I've had it quite like erasing your family member from the history books. In the cloak and dagger hours of a Sunday night, the palace's IT battalion slipped in and demoted Prince Harry's profile on the royal website. No pomp, no ceremony, just a ruthless digital guillotine. 1 minute he's a titled duke, the next he's a forgotten hyperlink.
The royal family quietly removes Prince Harry's Meghan Markle romance statement from its website.
The timing of this was really interesting because all references, lingering references to Prince Harry and Meghan have been wiped from the royal family's website.
But this wasn't mere housekeeping. This was a message wrapped in a royal crown that meant you are no longer one of us. Think I'm exaggerating? Consider that royal aides refer to this maneuver as actual malice, a legal buzzword for deliberately causing harm. That's right. We're not talking about an accidental typo. We're talking about a calculated smear campaign dressed in code. Behind those antiseptic white pages and glossy portraits is a palace scriptwriter dripping venom into HTML. The silence accompanying the site's update speaks volumes. No press conference, no oops tweet, just an ominous void where Prince Harry once stood.
The changes to the website have been described as a brutal reality check.
But the digital chop wasn't enough for palace insiders. Rumor has it Prince William is drafting an edict to rescind both Harry and Meghan's HRH titles the moment he ascends the throne. A petty snag in crown protocol, or a power play worthy of Machiavelli himself. Either way, the chessboard is set. The palace queen is calling checkmate.
Prince William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH titles.
Due to the lack of awareness, the Hill security experts are calling for Harry and Meghan to be formally stripped of their royal title.
When William becomes king, he's going to strip you of your titles, and the world will cheer that. You're out of your mind.
You thought nuking a webpage was petty? Wait until you see how Harry's own pen detonated the royal peace. But before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe because let's face it, I'm nothing without your support. Now back to the tea. Enter Spare, the memoir that blew the palace's lid clean off. When Harry's tell-all tome dropped, it didn't simply recount childhood trauma and palace etiquette faux pas. No, it leveled a bomb under the entire Windsor dynasty. From alleging cold shoulders at Christmas dinners to exposing backroom politics, Harry didn't hold back. He whipped the cover off decades of glittering tradition and served it up to the tabloids on a silver platter. And guess what? The palace didn't just grimace. They went nuclear.
King Charles to punish Prince Harry over this detail in memoir Spare. In his biography, Spare King Charles III made shocking claims that he would punish his younger son, Prince Harry.
For once, a royal book that lives up to the pre-publication hype. Prince Harry hasn't just blown the doors off Buckingham Palace, he's detonated a huge landmine under it, which is rocking the royal edifice.
A royal specialist claimed King Charles is furious by the Duke's insults.
Imagine the scene. Buckingham Palace's PR machine in full panic mode, spin doctors scrambling for damage control, and anonymous aides leaking lines like, "How dare he?" The book's lawsuits threats started swirling faster than a royal carriage around the Round Tower. Under British libel laws, infamously friendlier to plaintiffs than defendants, actual malice could carry a price tag in the hundreds of millions. A countersuit is reportedly being hatched, with palace lawyers sharpening their quills, ready to pen a defamation claim that'll leave Harry's wallet gasping for air. But let's cut through the courtroom theatrics. Harry's memoir may be frightening for the monarchy, but it's a golden goose for his speaking fees. Yet here's the irony. Every scandalous anecdote he shrieks from the podium only deepens the palace's resolve to erase him. Talk about biting the hand that once wore the crown.
Is this Prince Harry's most damaging moment yet?
Other news today, more drama for Prince Harry and wife Meghan.
They had their HRH titles scrubbed from the royal family's website.
And while Harry's busy playing the village whistleblower, Meghan's taken a vow of silence so profound it echoes through every royal scandal. Meghan monetized me now Markle. Erstwhile poster child for girl power, hasn't uttered a peep about Harry's digital decapitation or his literary landmine drop. No Instagram statements, no Vogue interviews, not even a cryptic emoji. Zip, zilch, zero. It's like she's taken a vow of royal silence, except it's far from spiritual. This strategic blackout is about as passive-aggressive as it gets. But let's be crystal clear, this isn't meditation. It's a PR masterstroke. By staying mute, Meghan avoids giving palace lawyers fresh ammo for a countersuit. She's realized that in the realm of royal defamation, the less you say, the safer you are. An insider spills that her team has been busily pruning her digital footprint, prepping her for a seismic brand relaunch, one unshackled from Harry's tarnished title.
Was that Meghan's team had a conversation with a publishing house to gauge interest in the idea for a potential book, the concept for which there was no written or formal proposal.
Meanwhile, our royal rebel couple has morphed into two polar opposite brands, spinning off in separate orbits. On one side, Meghan's living her best spin-off life, launching American Riviera Orchard, hobnobbing at Hollywood premieres, and cozying up to A-list producers. She's the CEO of Meghan Inc., with investors drooling over her next venture, whether it's a lifestyle line or a political platform. She's everywhere and nowhere all at once. Glamorous galas one day, Secret idea sessions with Silicon Valley mentors the next.
And so they're very much looking at separate professional lives. There's some commentary around the fact that there may be some upset in their marriage as well. But at this stage, it's just looking like they are very much following different paths. Meghan, of course, is involved with American Riviera Orchard, her jams and preserves and dog biscuits, and of course the cooking show that's going to accompany that. Harry's moving back to the things that really meant a lot to him in the past.
Now look at Harry, our once beloved people's prince, now more like Prince offline. His post-Spare speaking circuit has flopped harder than a soggy scone at afternoon tea. Ticket sales cratered, venues slashed capacity, and sponsors are running for cover faster than you can say royal discontent. Spotify famously tagged him a grifter behind closed doors, and Netflix execs are quietly regretting that $100 million deal. They whisper about brand risk and public fatigue in hushed boardroom corners. And if that doesn't prove how ruthless branding can be, I don't know what does. But what really turns heads, literally, is the disappearance of Meghan's wedding ring.
She hasn't been seen wearing it for all of 2023 as far as I can tell. In paparazzi pictures and in some of the more high-profile events she's done, which are only a couple, we have not seen that ring. And I think that raises a lot of really interesting questions, especially given all the reports about the state of her and Harry's marriage.
Spotting a princess without her band is like seeing Big Ben without a clock face, disorienting and impossible to ignore. Paparazzi snapped her at charity dinners, red carpet galas, even casual weekend brunches, ringless and radiant. Cue the clickbait. Meghan gives Harry the slip, princess tosses her ring in fury. Unnamed insiders howl that the ring toss was a power play, a visual dagger aimed straight at Harry's heart. Then there's body language, that nonverbal stockpile of telling clues.
Well, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have made their first public appearance together since reports emerged the couple were spending time apart.
On a trial separation after months of fighting. Sources close to the pair say the time apart is in the hope of rebuilding their bond after recent humiliation and deals falling through with Spotify.
Is it exhaustion? Sure, but let's call it what it really is. A silent broadcast of I'm done with your drama. Rings off, scarves on, exit stage right. And if the palace wanted a subtle hint that this royal marriage is on life support, they couldn't have scripted it better.
I really find that I'm seeing Harry and Meghan much happier professionally working as a separate entity. Look, the beautiful pictures of Harry in Vancouver, the big smile, he's so engaged, and Arthur Edwards, of course, who's followed him around the world as a Sun Royal photographer, made the point that he was really seeing the Harry of old.
Now let's talk money, because in this game of crowns, cash is king. Remember when Netflix hailed the Sussexes as their biggest scoring hit? Fast forward to boardroom whispers of content fatigue and diminishing returns. Projects are delayed, scripts sit untouched, and high-profile documentaries vanish into the editing room abyss.
I guess you just constantly have to reinvent yourself and come up with new reasons for relevancy when you don't have any actual talents. I mean, everything that they've touched turns to the opposite of gold when it comes to their entertainment company and their Netflix deals. My personal favorite thing about her is that when she did her podcast series for Spotify, she didn't even record the interviews properly. She had producers interview the people and then read a script in her own voice of the questions to be edited in after the fact.
Meanwhile, Spotify's ruthless split has echoes that haunt any future podcast royalty dreams. A media mogul confided, when your partners publicly question your integrity, your paycheck shrinks faster than a wool sweater in a hot wash. Ouch. Contrast that with Meghan's financial acumen, quietly spinning off ventures into separate LLCs bearing only her name. A legal moat around her assets. She's playing 4D chess while Harry's still in the checker suite, watching joint company accounts drain like a leaky submarine. Rumors swirl of Harry gearing up a $400 million countersuit over alleged defamation and betrayals of trust, an astronomical sum that's either bravado or bonkers. Without fresh, headline-gripping content to validate that figure, who's foot the bill? Whoever it is, they'll be signing a check bigger than Buckingham Palace's annual cleaning budget. And if you think you've seen a palace spin, think again. Mainstream outlets treated Harry's website erasure like yesterday's weather. One paragraph between showers possible and traffic report. Why so muted? Because the palace arms dealers have press under their thumbs. Off-the-record briefings, pre-approved talking points, and carefully leaked words to OK tabloids. The result? A sanitized soundbite that placates casual viewers while whitewashing the real scandal. But underground bloggers, rogue podcasters, and shade-slinging YouTube channels are where the truth bubbles over. They're calling this the royal media cover-up, a carefully orchestrated campaign to keep palace footprints off the muckraking headlines. Meanwhile, we're left sifting through crumbs. Palace sources deny. Reports suggest. A source close to Harry claims. If it sounds like semantic shell games, that's because it is. So where does this leave us? Buckle up, because the royal roller coaster isn't slowing down. Legal scholars predict that divorce papers, or at least separation agreements, are en route. We're talking battles over titles, who gets the right to call themselves HRH, estates, Frogmore Cottage, anyone, and most explosively, their joint brand empire. Custody disputes over Archie and Lilibet will be played out in the press as both sides weaponize every tear and tantrum. The palace strategists are already drafting friendly op-eds to paint the Sussexes as overgrown, rebellious children. And then there's the big reveal. Palace insiders hint at a sealed settlement that might include gag orders and sainthood status churches, because silence is golden, especially when you can afford to pay for it. But let's not pretend this is just a family feud. At its core, this saga is about power, privilege, and the brutal calculus of celebrity. Harry dared to expose the darkest corners of one of history's most secretive institutions, and Meghan, ever the pragmatist, chose her own brand over his battles. In the process, both paid the price: a tidal wave of tabloid scorn, a hemorrhaging of trust, and a public spectacle that's part tragedy, part circus. Here's the real bombshell. When tradition clashes with transparency, tradition always wins. The palace's digital decapitation of Harry, its scorched earth response to Spare, and its ironclad media blackout reveal an institution allergic to scrutiny. Meghan's quiet vanishing act teaches us that silence can be sharper than any sword. But the ultimate takeaway: in a world that worships authenticity, hypocrisy is the deadliest offense. So before you click away, ask yourself, are you rooting for the truth teller or the throne tender? Are you on Harry's side, yearning for a candid look behind velvet curtains? Or is Meghan's boardroom brilliance, her ability to turn silence into spectacle, the real triumph of this saga? Whatever your vote, one thing's certain. The royals may control the palace press, but they can't kill the clickbait. This story is far from over. Next chapter drops the moment a court docket or a gossip column breaks the silence. So hit